Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 18th episode of our gaming news podcast, the PackCast. Our host today, as always, we have Cool Trainer Camilo, the Genebo, Dan from the Tea Lounge, and myself, Phil Fantastic, and together we are the Game Pack. A quick follow-up from a story we had in episode 13, Dave Bautista will be a playable character in Gears 5 as a skin in multiplayer. So the fans had requested Dave Bautista to be in the Gears universe, and they kind of got what they wanted. I know they wanted him to star in the movie, but, he's going to be one of the games, so, that's kind of cool.
He looks pretty cool. They released the rendering for him, and he looks like Dave Bautista.
This week's topics are, Telltale is being revived, we have an update on Nintendo's major mobile games, we'll be discussing review bombing and its most recent victim, Astral Chain, and the Nintendo Direct launched yesterday, but we recorded this in the past, so we're going to get our final predictions in, and you can see how right or wrong we were. We'll round out the show with this week's lineup of new releases. Let's get into our first story. Telltale Games is being revived. Last year, Telltale Games went out of business, and its assets are now being bought up by the company LCG Entertainment. The new company will sell some of their back catalog games they already have made, and they will work on new games based on a few Telltale associated properties, as well as get some new licenses. When somebody asked specifically what games are you working on, they responded by saying, there are some other expired licenses that we are looking into. My question to you guys is, what franchises would you like to see brought back, or would you like to see approached for the first time?
I first wanted to mention that they still have the license for Warner Brothers. Okay. So they could do another Batman, and they still have the license for The Wolf Among Us, so they could do another
nice
one of those. What I want them to do is to release the remainder of the Walking Dead series on the Nintendo Switch. We have season 1 and I think the last season, and there's 4 seasons. So I just want them all on there.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Get a definitive edition or something.
Yeah.
My favorite is Wolf Among Us, so that would be my pick.
I would say The Walking Dead. It'd be cool to have them all on the Switch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't really played any Telltale games, but I have seen really good things about Back to the Future game that they made.
Oh, right.
And I'd love to see that on the Switch. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's old enough, so it should run perfectly fine on the Switch.
I don't know. Those games run pretty poorly. All of because they're all on the same engine. And they started these back in 360, PS3, and I don't think they updated the engine when they went on to PS4 and the Xbox One. So and they run pretty janky. I played, I think, The Walking Dead on the Vita, and it was very janky on there. So I could see the Switch versions being kind of rough, but I haven't tried The Walking Dead on there yet.
Hopefully new management will kind of take that and run with it and update some things.
There was a rumor of a Stranger Things Telltale game, so I would love to see them take a shot at that.
Yeah, I think that was in the works right before they went out of business, and the deal never got finalized.
I just like to see them do more comic-related stuff. Like maybe, I don't know, like V for Vendetta, or just those graphic novels, because that's what The Wolf Among Us is based on. That's what Walking Dead is based on. I would like to see them just go towards other graphic novels and see what they could do.
Oh yeah, from what I understand of their formatting, they're very much in a similar style as virtual storytelling. Like the comic books really emphasize the visual element of the storytelling. So I think those would be right at home, actually. They do a really good job with those.
I believe what their detriment was when they first went out of business is they spread themselves too thin. Like, they had all of these projects in the works. I remember before they shut down, they released this video talking about all the projects that they have in the works, that they had in the works, and then they shut down. So all those projects were canceled.
Ooh.
So they have very expensive licenses. Like The Walking Dead has to be a very expensive license. Warner Brothers can't be cheap. So I think
Sorry, go ahead.
I think they just need to manage their properties better this time around, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about like licensing laws. When a company goes out of business, the licenses remain still under that company's scope for someone else to buy up, or do they get released? Like, would the new company, having purchased this old company, have those licenses still?
No, only some of them. Like, they don't have The Walking Dead anymore.
I heard the Batman Telltale games are pretty good too.
Do they have 2 seasons of that or just 1? I think it's 2. Borderlands, the Borderlands game is pretty good too.
There's only one of those.
Yeah, there's only one of those.
I have the Batmans. I have definitely Wolf Among Us. I've been waiting for a sequel for, and then when they announced it, I was so excited. And then they were like, "Oh, and now we're out of business."
Now we're out of business.
Like, no. So that is definitely something I really desire.
But this was a big thing. Like back when Walking Dead came out, like they just went crazy with all these episodic types of games. Everybody thought that was going to be the way of the future. Like, you're going to release one chapter, and then, a couple months down the line, you'll release the second chapter. And I guess that business model just doesn't work.
But they're going to try it with Final Fantasy VII. Not to change topics too much, but they're going to try it with a different type of game.
Yeah, Sonic 4 tried it, and I didn't personally like them doing it that way.
I just think that
Final Fantasy VII is going to do that, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, so I just said.
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but aren't they charging $60 per episode though?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't know.
I don't know. The problem is the length between episodes. Like, you would go 3 months between Telltale episodes. So, like, I played the Game of Thrones one, but I stopped after the second episode because I didn't feel like waiting for the 3 months.
Yeah, there's definitely got to be a sweet spot between length of time waiting, amount of content per episode, and price of each episode.
I mean, each episode is only 2 hours long, so it's not it's not a crazy amount of content.
But there's a lot of replay value in those if you wanted to do that. Because
I did think it was cool. Sorry,
I was just saying there's many branching dialogue
decisions,
choices and options, and you could really have a different ending by the time you're done with your 2 hours than somebody else.
Yeah, I did like how they show you the stats of people's choices and how yours compared to theirs. I just thought that was pretty interesting.
Very cool. All right. Do we have any final thoughts on Telltale coming back? My final thought is that I'm very excited and want my Wolf Among Us sequel. I've said it 3 times. I want my Wolf Among Us sequel. Give it to me. What are you guys?
My last thought is that it's always sad to see a game company go out of business, especially when they have so many things in the works. So it's nice that this one is getting a second life.
Nice.
I just want access to the previous Telltale games.
Yeah, I just think it's awesome that they're coming back.
Very cool. All right. Let's get into our next story. It's just sort of a Nintendo mobile game update, because there's just a bunch of pieces of information that we sort of wanted to share with you guys and then talk about these figures. So Pokemon Masters was released last week. It had 10 million downloads in 4 days. It's the second fastest selling mobile game behind Super Mario Run. Pokemon Go has reached 2.65 billion with a B in sales. Billion. And it's on track to hit 3 billion. August 2019 was the best month since September 2016. So these new events that they're implementing obviously must be bringing people back to the franchise. And then some negative news for Nintendo mobile games. Dr. Mario is struggling. It has made 1.4 million with an M in sales and 7.4 million installs. I don't know how many.
Might need a checkup.
Yeah, let's see. I might need a little checkup. I don't know how many uninstalls there are, but yeah. So, why do you guys think some of these games thrive on mobile while others flounder?
I'll start with this. So I know specifically Pokemon Go, they constantly update that game, and there's like always an event. There's always something new to do in that game. So I never feel like that game gets stale. I feel like other games that don't do that as much, you play it and it's like unchanging, and then you're just like, I'm bored of this.
Totally.
Yeah. So the amount of effort that Niantic is putting into Pokemon Go is like crazy right now, so that's why they're having so much sales. And I think the figure for like just August 2019 was 1 million in sales.
Wow.
And that is probably due to Shiny Rayquaza being out. A lot of people buying raid passes because that's like the best shiny in the game.
Yeah.
I did want to mention something about Pokemon Go. I was at a family party over the weekend, and my cousin was there, and he has 2 young kids. He has, I think, a 5-year-old and a 8-year-old. And he pulls out his phone, and he starts playing Pokemon Go, and his kids are, like, telling him what to do. I just thought it was such a cool thing to see, like, a family getting together for a game. And I think that's what helped Pokemon Go so much.
I see it all the time, like when I do like raid groups and stuff, and it's like a dad with his kids, and they're all playing and hanging out.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I think that helps, like having somebody around you, or just people around doing the same thing as you. Like Dr. Mario, you kind of just play by yourself.
Yeah,
and you're not going out anywhere.
Like, community based, especially for like the raids. Like you have to do that. Like there are a lot of raids you just can't do by yourself, so like you need to do it with other people. Just talk and like share stories. Like, oh, I got this many shinies, or like I hatched 100%. You just, I don't know, it's really fun.
And the one that's so cool, not listed on here that I think is the highest grossing Nintendo one is Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm assuming everybody just wants to collect those characters like that.
Yeah, because that game has the pull mechanic that we were talking about last time.
The gacha. And I mean, the gameplay is okay. It's not anything special, but collecting all of the different styles of one character, that I think that gets people in, and you just want to keep doing it.
I can agree to that, because I've definitely I know what character I want. Like I want to get Edelgard from the new games. So I go through and like I'll play the game and I'll earn my orbs. I haven't really put any money into that game yet.
Yeah.
So I'll play the game, I'll earn my orbs, and then I'll just go to the point where like if you start spending, like the first one costs 5, but then if you keep going, it costs like 4 and then 3, or I think something like that. So I'll save up enough so that I can do all 5 pulls at once.
Falling price thing.
And they do all types of different banners too, right? Like they have changing events all the time.
Oh, so totally, yeah.
They're bringing people back in.
There's always new events and different games to play. Kind of like they're like, oh, this is themed based on like just like summertime, and then like all
everybody's in a bathing suit.
Yeah, they're in a bathing suit. There's like the Easter one where like some characters were just carrying around giant carrots, or they had like bunny ears,
or they were like looked like they should hang out with Hugh Hefner.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, I definitely was getting sucked into that pull mechanic. But
did they do a Three Houses event?
Yep, they've done quite a few of them.
I love that game. Like I played that game for like a couple of weeks pretty intensely, and I really enjoyed it. Maybe I'll try to get back into it.
Yeah, I mean it's good, but I'm currently playing the real Three Houses, and it's
it's so much better.
The real game is much better, which I think can be said for a lot of these games. But I think Pokemon Go kind of stands on its own.
It's like so different. Sometimes I'm just like, I want to play Pokemon Go. I don't really necessarily want to play the main series games, and I don't think I ever talked to this on the podcast, but one of the community days is going to be the day after Sword and Shield releases, and I think I'm going to go play Pokemon Go anyway.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And my cousin that I was talking about earlier,
Mm-hmm.
they don't even own a Switch, so they're not going to play Sword and Shield.
True. Yeah, a lot of people who play mobile games don't have consoles, which is why mobile games are as popular as they are. Final thoughts on mobile games and all that?
I'll be interested to see how Mario Kart does.
Yeah. I also am very curious. I will be downloading it, and I just want to see what they're like. How do you pay for it? Do you buy tracks?
It has to be costumes. It has to be costumes. Costumes and cart parts. Like, I could see it happening.
Do you think it'll have a stamina system?
Yeah, it has a stamina system. They
okay.
They saw that from the beta.
It was in the beta. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Looking forward to that, and we will absolutely be reporting on Mario Kart Tour, which is coming out later this month. Like 22 days since the airing of from the recording of this podcast. We're getting real close. So that is our update on Nintendo mobile games and where they stand, which ones are thriving, which ones are floundering. And let's move on to our third topic of the day, and that is review bombing. But before we do that, let's take a very short break.
Have you ever wanted to listen to the PackCast on the go? Well, now you can, because the PackCast is now available on iTunes and Spotify. Listen on the road, at the mall, at the library, on the toilet, in the shower. It doesn't matter, because you can listen anywhere you are. Now, back to the show.
Let's start out by defining what a review bomb is. So basically, when people write negative reviews just to bring down the score of the game because they're either frustrated for some reason or trolling, people also create multiple accounts to drop the score even further. It has nothing to do with how good the game actually is. It just has to, it's an outlet for people who are angry or trolling. So according to Nintendo Life, disgruntled fans are review bombing Astral Chain in an attempt to lower its Metacritic score. The critic score of Astral Chain is currently sitting at 87. Folks have also reviewed bombed Fire Emblem Three Houses and Pokemon Let's Go. Why do you guys think that people review bomb, and what are your feelings on review bombing in general?
Because these people don't have anything better to do.
You think so?
Why did Fire Emblem get review bombed? Do we know?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I understand Pokemon Let's Go. These people are not happy about that, and it's just another form of trolling. I don't know. They're keyboard cowards? Is that what people call them?
I love to call them that.
Yeah. People like to feel like they're in control of something, and if they can negatively or adversely, positively or negatively affect the score of something, then they feel like they have the power. And yeah.
Do we know what the user score is? I don't look at the user scores when I go to Metacritic. I usually just look at the critic scores and I read the critic reviews. User scores, they're either like 0s or 10s. You can't really trust them.
Yeah, because they're not critics.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another reason why people might do it is because they feel like they can influence the creator of the game to do something differently based on it. Like, oh, we don't like that this is an exclusive game, so we're going to downvote it. And
there's an update to this story. It looks like a lot of these troll negative reviews have been removed from Metacritic. And the user score is now sitting at a 9.0.
Oh, okay. So yeah, they must have got rid of. Because I think it was at like a
good
49 or like a. It was low. I think it was pretty low.
Well, that's awesome that Metacritic stepped up between this morning and now to rectify that. That's so cool. It's good to know that they can have a system in place to be like, oh, clearly this is not a person critically reviewing a game. It's someone who's just trying to wreck the score.
I mean,
absolutely.
This happens not only on Metacritic. Like if you go to Steam reviews, a lot of people try to do it over there, and it's just, I don't know. People they feel entitled
Yeah.
I don't. It's okay to have an opinion. Like if you don't like it, if you genuinely don't like a game, like that's fine, but don't do it just out of spite. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know like some people were speculating that it's like this game specifically is because it was a Switch exclusive and they want it to be on other platforms. But like review bombing and spamming negative attention to something is not going to get them to change to what you want them to do. If you want it to be released on other systems, giving it positive reviews might be a little better way to do that, because they're not going to release their most poorly reviewed game to other systems.
Like, usually the developer sometimes can't even control that. It's like whoever comes to them.
Right.
Yeah, because like Nintendo published this game, so they gave Platinum Games money to make an exclusive, like to publish their game.
Right.
So it's not like Platinum published this game exclusively on the Nintendo Switch, and they could put it on other systems as well. It's Nintendo paid to publish it, or they bought it to publish it, and now it's their property. So
yeah, it's like Netflix paying to produce a show for their platform. They're not going to allow that show to also go over to Amazon. Yeah.
Unless I mean, you do see some cases like Microsoft's now doing it with some of their properties. So it could happen, but
that's true.
Crying about it's not gonna get it done.
So the supervisor of Astral Chain, Hideki Kamiya, apologies if I butchered that name, in response for people asking if it's going to come to a Sony console, he said, well, it would be great to have Mario and Zelda and Metroid on the PS4 too. As for me, do I hate PlayStation? And he's like, I'm just a developer fulfilling my contractual obligation. So I don't know. Maybe you can try asking my publisher and investor, Nintendo. Basically saying like, well, why are you like throwing all this hate at me? Like, I'm not the one that made the choice to make this game Nintendo exclusive. It's like the people who paid for it and invested in it are the ones that made that choice.
Well, this is the same exact story that happened when Bayonetta 2 was announced, and I don't know if it got review bombed, but it definitely got a lot of negative feedback because it was a Nintendo exclusive, and it's just the same thing. It's the same story. People aren't gonna be happy.
Yeah, exclusives exist. That's the company's right to do that, and it certainly helps their business. It's unfortunate sometimes for the consumer, but that's kind of how the business works. You got to make money.
Console, though.
Yeah.
He could. I feel like this was the most PR way to say this. He could have just said, "Buy a Switch, you idiots."
Yeah. Not everyone can afford every console, but yeah, you got to pick and choose, and yeah, it is what it is.
There's plenty of games out there. So I just wanted to touch on this again because I feel like it just keeps coming up over and over again in the podcast. And this is just another example of the video game community being toxic. And because it's been happening so frequently, I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on, like, is this starting to upset you? Like, personally, it's starting to get to me. And I just wanted to ask you guys, like, is it bothering you? Or do you think it's like a couple of outliers just happening back to back and it's not, you don't think it's like a gamers as a whole?
It's definitely getting to me.
I felt that way when like the whole Pokemon National Dex thing was going on. I was taking it taking it to heart and stuff. But now I'm just like over it. If people are being toxic about it, I really don't care. Like they don't have an opinion to me. So I'm just like, whatever, go complain in the corner.
I've realized that the internet is a very negative place, and people just like to argue. And I mean, we'll talk about the rumors for the Smash Brothers character, but when that came out to be like an SNK character, there was so much negativity and on both sides. These people are like, well, that character doesn't belong to be in here. And then like the other side where, you know, they're trying to say, well, you you just don't understand how big SNK is. You're not a real gamer because you've never heard of these people, never heard of this company. So I think it's just the gaming community is toxic, and I think other communities are toxic too. I don't think it's just gaming.
Yeah, it's definitely not just gaming. The internet as a whole can be a very toxic place. Individual communities have to take ownership, though, and individual communities can or cannot be toxic. It can go either way, and it's really frustrating for me when I try to join into a community and like, I love this thing, I want to participate, and I get there, and it's nothing but negativity and toxicity. It's really frustrating, and it's not something that I would want to stay at. And honestly, toxic communities just, like, grow up. Grow up. You can converse and communicate and interact with people in a positive way, and you can still get the attention you're looking for in a positive manner. And it's really dumb and really annoying, and it needs to stop.
I can't believe how toxic people can be. Like, for the smallest of things. Like, you're playing a match of some competitive game, and you lose, and then you just, like, go off on the person saying, like, they suck, and it's just, we got to stop being so negative towards each other.
Yeah. Anonymity certainly gives people the shield that they feel like allows them to do that, but it kind of reveals who they really are. When they're anonymous and behind closed doors, then that's where you really see who the type of person is. And they're like, but they don't know my name, so they don't know I'm a bad person. It's like, that's not a good thing. You're still a bad person.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, why don't we shift gears towards something more positive, which is the Nintendo Direct is happening for us tomorrow, for you guys yesterday, and it already happened. But we wanted to get, like I was saying in the intro, we just want to get, like, our last minute predictions in, like, anything goes, like, what are the craziest predictions we think are going to happen? I just thought that would be a fun thing to touch on in the podcast today. But I want to be very clear. We will be making videos / have made videos reporting on the major stories for the Direct. They will not be in this podcast. And later next week, we will have, like, a more, like, you know, casual conversation about the Direct. But if you guys want specific, like, news about what's being dropped and released and announced during the Direct, we will have videos for you to watch on our channel, so stay tuned. Okay, so tomorrow, the Nintendo Direct is going to be 45 minutes long, and it has information focused on the 2019 Switch games, including Pokemon Sword and Shield and Luigi's Mansion 3. I want to know, what do you guys think is going to be revealed other than Pokemon and Luigi's Mansion? Or what do you think specifically is going to be revealed for those two games? Because those are the only two games they mentioned. And then if you want to, we can just roll right into the second part, which was, because we already brought it up earlier, there was a leak about who the next Smash character was going to be. It's going to be potentially an SNK character. The major franchises created by SNK are King of Fighters, Metal Slug, Samurai Showdown, and then there's a Switch exclusive fighting game called SNK Heroines. So that is it. Do you guys have any other predictions of what characters might enter the roster or what games will be announced? Go to town.
I really want to and hope and think it is feasible that we will see a mainline 3D Mario game announced at this Direct.
You think they'll go back-to-back? Because they went with the sequel to Breath of the Wild last Direct. You think they're going to go back-to-back with a big 3D Mario game? I wanted to.
I think they could.
They definitely teased something, and it had something to do with the end of summer, and now this is coming at the end of summer, so there very well could be. Very well could be pointing to that.
Huh? How is
Watermelon
end of-
Gate.
Yeah, but like end of summer. How is that tied to this?
Well, maybe
the
just
direct
the
is
announcement.
happening just after summer is ending.
Yeah.
I think that's taking a little too deep, but I do think
Really?
Yeah. Something Mario related. I think it's gonna be more something Sunshine remastery kind of thing. I don't think Odyssey something sequel.
Huh.
I think it's still going to be DLC. But any of that stuff will
My
make me
opinion
happy.
has not changed since last podcast.
What, DLC plus Odyssey?
Odyssey 2 plus Isle Delfino, and then
Yep.
later we'll get the remaster. That was my opinion from the last podcast.
I want that to happen too. I want all these things to happen. I don't want to get my hopes up, but
Get them way up.
that's what Nintendo Direct hype is all about, right?
I know, right?
Yep.
I do want to see.
Sometimes they come through.
I do want to see another Wii U port, and I hope it's Pikmin 3.
I'd love to see the collection.
Oh yeah, the Pikmin collection, that would be really good. Or Metroid
love
Prime Trilogy collection.
Yep.
Do you think
Yeah,
they would
I
just
don't-
port them, or I don't think
It would
they
probably
port
just
them.
be
I
a
think they would
it'll be an up-res.
up-res them.
Yeah, I think it would be an up-res.
Minimum up-res to get it up to 1080.
Not
But
even necessarily 1080. Like Breath of the Wild isn't even 1080, and they don't need to do 1080 on the Switch to have an excellent experience.
I'd like it.
I would like it too.
I want to win this bet, so I predict Overwatch is going to be shown tomorrow.
I think Overwatch will be shown.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys think that there has been enough time passed as to the scrapping of Metroid Prime 4 to
No.
have something to show
No, they
yet?
won't. They won't show
Nothing
it.
will be shown.
For 4? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope I'm wrong though. I want everything in this direct. I want Odyssey 2, Sunshine Remastered,
The
Metroid
thing
Prime
about
4.
getting your hopes too high, you get disappointed afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't feel like getting disappointed.
Well, all right. I'll stick with Overwatch.
I want my Pokemon. I want a sequel to Pokemon Sword and Shield to be announced.
I'd be a little surprised if they didn't have something mainline 3D Mario related. But I wouldn't be horribly disappointed if they didn't, because it's eventually going to come.
You think
And whether
they're
or not
gonna
it's this
do,
one.
like the friend update for Mario Maker 2?
Oh yeah, they probably will talk about some updates for Mario Maker 2. We haven't heard
yeah.
anything yet. That's a good one. I
Ooh,
like
do you
that.
think we'll get a new environment, like 6 golden coins or something?
Ooh.
Ooh, I would love
template?
6 golden coins.
I don't know. Actually, I really like the 3D world aesthetic in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see them make another like 3D-ish game.
Odyssey with captures? Oh, that would be really fascinating.
Odyssey or
That'd be
Galaxy.
So crazy.
I think our hopes are way too high.
Yes, of course, but
We might get the SNES.
That's
Reveal?
true. The NES Online service.
Yeah, I'd put my money on that.
Some Super Nintendo games, because those controllers did leak.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a
And-
40-minute presentation. They're going to give us a lot of news.
And it's we're in the anniversary month of
Switch
the
Online.
NES Online. Yeah, it was Switch Online.
All right.
maybe they'll announce that their servers are better now.
We're
Legal
gonna up the
SE at
price
Nintendo.
to $50 a year.
If they had just as good a service as Xbox and PlayStation, and then they also release free games like Xbox and PlayStation do every month, I would consider paying a price like that. But that is not the service they offer.
Wasn't there?
technically do release free games every month.
Not like the caliber of like Detroit Become Human. Like
Not at
that's-
all.
Yeah, like,
It's
like, I think-
barely better than Atari.
Yeah.
Oh, Smash Fighters.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh man. Like I know the rumored fighters, and I don't want it to be them, but I'm trying to think what I want. Like, I think Doom Guy would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Doom. I think it's called the Doom Slayer.
Yeah, he was Doom Guy, and now he's Doom Slayer.
Yeah.
They changed his name. Yeah, I don't know. SNK Corporation is not something that's even in my collection at all. I don't think I own any of the Metal Slug games. I don't own King of Fighters. I don't own Samurai Showdown. Don't own SNK Heroes. But They are very popular games, and there is a market for it. And since King of Fighters was like such a big popular franchise, it makes sense to take a game from a big popular fighting franchise like they did with Ryu from Street Fighter and bring them over.
They could probably build off of Ryu's character model if it is that SNK fighter or that King of Fighters.
Looks very similar.
Just add a hat.
Yeah, give him a hat, give him some bell-bottom jeans or whatever he wears.
I love the aesthetic of King of Fighters. I love that it's like 2D hand-drawn sprites. It looks really nice, but you can't really do that in Smash, so I don't know what they'll do.
I remember playing Samurai Showdown on the Sega Genesis. That's one of the games I had back when I was a kid. And I also had Mortal Kombat 2 on Sega Genesis. And I gotta say that I think Samurai Showdown was better than Mortal Kombat 2. And that's probably an unpopular opinion because everyone loves Mortal Kombat 2.
It's true. They do.
But Samurai Showdown was actually really good.
Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 11. I mean, I know the graphics are different, but I don't know much more about them.
Yeah. Samurai Showdown was fun. I liked it.
There's a new one. Or a remaster? There's definitely a Samurai Showdown. I think so.
Will it be announced at the Direct? Or is there
no, I'm pretty sure it's already announced.
No. Final thoughts on our Direct predictions. What are we going to get right? What are we going to get wrong?
For Pokemon Sword and Shield, maybe more for Galarian forms? Maybe Evolution, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I think Luigi's Mansion, they're going to show a playable Mario.
Interesting. I'm not sure so sure about that. I think we'll see more Pokemon. I think we will see further evolutions of the starters.
Yes. Yeah, they have to. They reveal those before the game comes out, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was usually Sun and Moon starters were revealed like September. Or evolutions.
Final thoughts on all of that crazy prediction stuff? All right, cool. Moving on. Now we're going to try something a little bit new this week. Let us know in the comments down below if you like this new section, or if you dislike this section. Any feedback is appreciated, always. Okay, so the final story of the week is going to be games that are releasing this week. So this has been another big week for game releases. Last week we got like WoW Classic and Astral Chain, and this week on September 3rd, we're getting Torchlight 2 for the PS4, the Nintendo Switch, and Xbox One. We're getting the Spyro Reignited Trilogy on PC and Nintendo Switch, which is exciting. The Final Fantasy VIII Remaster is coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. And Catherine Full Body, a very weird puzzle game, is coming to PlayStation 4. All of those games are on September 3rd. On September 5th, we've got River City Girls, which is a sequel to River City Ransom, which was a cool NES game. Yeah, I believe so.
I thought it was made by the people that make Shantae.
Is it? It's a spiritual successor, to say the least, if it's not an actual sequel. I'm sorry if my facts are wrong. That's going to be on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. On September 6th, we've got some big games coming. We've got NBA 2K20 on the PS4, Xbox One, PC, Nintendo Switch. Monster Hunter Iceborne expansion, I'm very excited for, coming to the PS4 and Xbox One. A massive Microsoft game. Gears 5 is coming to PC and Xbox One, also on the 6th. And then a game called Creature in the Well, which I'm not too super familiar with, coming to Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Are any of these games on your wish list, guys? Are you buying any of them day one? What do you think?
I had been hoping that Spyro Reignited Trilogy would come to Switch so I can play it portably instead of having to get it on a non-portable system, so I very well might pick it up now that it is. I'm glad I waited.
Make sure you have some space on your Switch.
Oh, yeah.
What is it, half the file size approximately?
Yeah, it's like 8 gigs or something.
I'm also excited for Spyro. And Monster Hunter Iceborne and Gears, but I don't think I'm going to get any of those on day one.
Well, don't you have Game Pass?
Well, then I guess I'm getting Gears on day one.
I'm really excited for Gears 5. Apparently, it is like more open world this time.
Interesting. I don't know if I want that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm interested to see how it works. There's a new horde mode. There's multiplayer looks so really fun. And yeah.
I might get Spyro sometime down the line. I'm not right now, and I definitely want to get Final Fantasy VIII. Just I'm playing through something related that I want to beat first. And then I definitely want Catherine Full Body, but I may wait on that one too. I
thought that was coming to Switch too. That's not coming to Switch.
Not from the source that I read, but again, I could. You guys can fact check me in the comments, please. All right. So.
Torchlight 2. That's an old game, right?
Yes, Torchlight 2 has been around for a long time. It's been on Steam for years.
I remember playing that on 360.
That's the last gen game. But...
It's like a Diablo-like.
Yep.
Dungeon crawler.
If it has good online, that might be a fun Nintendo Switch game to play.
Nintendo Switch Online being good?
We'll see. All right. So, guys, those are your big releases for this week. Let us know in the comments below if you're going to be picking any of those up. Final thoughts on this week's games, guys?
Pray for my wallet.
All right. So
don't we always have to pray for your wallet?
I've been pretty good.
Guys, pray for John's wallet. Let's move
Aren't you an accountant?
Let's move on. To the final section of our podcast that we do every week, except last week, where we talk about what we're playing or what we're plugging. I want to say that offline, I'm playing Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I'm really enjoying it. I think I've put in 10 hours so far.
What house?
And I picked Black Eagles.
Edelgard, nice.
I'm really enjoying it. I like my team a lot, and I think they're fun. I don't know. I'm enjoying just running around. That's a very different type of game where you run around the school and have off time. Where normally you kind of just go to mission to mission to mission to mission. There's not like this downtime to do this like Persona style create relationships, and I'm enjoying that aspect a lot.
Have you recruited anybody yet?
Not yet. I think it's too early. But
all right, I do have a tip. Pro tip for you.
Yeah.
There is a character. So you're Edelgard, right? Well,
yeah.
Wait, I guess you're are you a male Byleth?
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you're a female Byleth, there is a character that will automatically join your house if you talk to him.
Okay. I will look into that. But also, guys, I wanted to talk about what I'm plugging. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm uploading new videos every single week, and I do live streams on the weekends. So check that out. Link in the description. Dan, what have you been up to?
I've been returning to Super Mario Odyssey after getting a little bit burned out on Super Mario Maker 2. I've gone back to Super Mario Odyssey damageless, and I've been really enjoying the damageless runs again, and I'm really pushing for 880 moons. It's all the moons in the game. I really want that. I've been so close, and I'm thinking of restructuring so I can have a better shot at this. But I'm going to really be pushing until I get it, I feel like.
What if they add another island or another kingdom tomorrow?
They won't. It's too late. There's no DLC going to be for the Super Mario Odyssey. It won't happen. But when the run dies... And when the run has died, I've switched over to Metal Gear Solid 2, and I've been playing through Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PS2 for the very first time, and it's been a lot of fun as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been catching those streams and been rooting you on, and I really hope you get your 880. So good luck.
Oh, me too. I bought a special hat. And the intent was to not wear the hat, the Mario hat, until I got the 880, but other opportunities came up to wear it, so I've worn it a couple of times.
Nice.
But I want to feel like a boss when I get that, and put the hat on, and feel like, cool. Oh yeah, I am Iron Man Mario.
John, what are you playing?
I'm playing this game called Remnant: Fall from Ashes. It is like it's a Dark Souls-like game with guns. I'm not too far into it. It's a little difficult. I don't think it's as hard as Dark Souls yet, but it's still pretty tough. And then I streamed this the Blair Witch game that just came out for Xbox and PC, and that is an interesting experience. it's not scary. It's more about the protagonist's mental state, and like I mean, it's not really spoiler. It's PTSD, and it's about him going through that, and your kind of relationship with your dog. It's an interesting experience. Like I've been really liking it so far. I'm probably like halfway through. I think it's only like 5 hours long, and it's different than what I was expecting.
Very cool.
Can you pet the dog?
You can pet the dog.
Oh, good.
You can do it as many times as you want.
Nice.
I think it's cool that video games have now started to tackle the issue of mental health, and hopefully that is another way to mainstream that issue and destigmatize it a little bit. That is my hope. I know you guys know that that's something that I champion personally, so I think that games like this are just furthering the cause, and I think it's great.
Yeah, have you played Hellblade?
I have not,
because I think that deals a lot with
yeah, it does.
that type of
Yeah,
those types
definitely.
of issues.
It definitely does. Cam, what have you been playing?
I recently started playing Persona 5 again. I was playing through that like mostly all on my After Dark channel, and then I stopped to play some horror games, and then I was playing Detroit Become Human. So I decided to come back to Persona 5, and I'm having a ton of fun with it.
Yeah.
How many hours do you have into it?
Like 35.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you still got a while yet.
Yeah, I'm only on I think the third palace. But yeah, the game's like 96 hours long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the average? 96. Wow.
That's a long time.
Yeah. I'm also trying to beat I'm on Kingdom Hearts 2 now. I'm trying to beat all of the Kingdom Hearts games on level 1. I like it more than the first Kingdom Hearts level 1 experience. Just because like Mickey will save you and he's just kind of OP. But I've been kind of messing it up because Mickey will save you in decreasing probabilities every time you die. So like every time you use him, it's like less of a chance he'll come and save you. So I've been like using it like the beginning bosses. So I think that might bite me in the behind when I'm like the end of the game.
That's an odd mechanic.
Yeah, it got like when you first die, it's like it's 100% chance he'll come and save you, and then if you use it, it drops to like 80, then 50, then 25. And I think
Is it only in this you're playing in proud mode or whatever?
No, it's all the modes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, but like you play as Mickey, and then like he can do damage, and then like you can also charge him up to like heal Sora fully. So it's kind of like a Phoenix Down.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Very good. All right, guys, please don't forget to check out all of our individual channels. They are linked below. We have a Discord for this channel that you should join to get updates for when we go live. Don't forget to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell and press all so you get all notifications so you see when we upload the podcasts, when we upload these news videos for the Nintendo Direct that's coming up, and all the other series that we are working on, guys. We are working hard to bring you new content, and we're really excited about it. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Cam. Thank you, John, for hosting with me every week. And take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.